Questioning access of Jyoti Malhotra, the influencer blogger who possibly was being developed as a Pakistani asset. Jyoti Malhotra, according to our information coming in from the investigator, she's not cooperating with the NIA, with the Intelligence Bureau and the military intel. Now, this is important, remember, because if she cooperates, if she'll be able to reveal more, who did she interact with, was she being asked to go to specific areas, that could help further investigation. Jyoti was asked specifically on a video in Pahalgam. Barely few months ago, she was in Pahalgam, if not Baisaran, but in areas around it. And there is another video of hers in which she hasn't mentioned Pakistan at all, even once in the aftermath of the Pahalgam massacre. Instead, she has said, leaders and we as people, as citizens, have to be more watchful. The pattern and history clearly shows it was Pakistan sponsoring the attack, but not a word against Pakistan. Why? Jyoti Malhotra was asked who was helping her in her trips being organized to Pakistan, and when did she meet Danish, one of the men who has been basically trying to ascertain and trying to push her to be able to have a pro-Pakistan agenda pushed through the videos. I want to immediately bring in Shreya Chatterjee, who gets us this line of questioning. Shreya, I see the questions are very clear and crisp. It shouldn't be very difficult to respond to. What do you mean when the investigators are telling you that she's not cooperating, one? And do you also see a pattern of grooming that is developing with regard to Pakistan?
Well, you know, given the kind of proximity and stay that she's enjoyed with the people who've now been identified as persona non grata by the country, it's on the lines that she will have to face this interrogation. If you look at the line of questioning, as you rightly pointed out, very direct questions, nothing that is being insinuated, just specific details about her stay, her visa denials, how she got in touch with Danish, whether in 2023 she got in touch with Danish, or it was before that, whether in 2024 when she extended her trip that was under deliberation, something accidental or something that she was asked to be done. So these are very specific questions that she could very cleanly answer. But what I'm being told by the agencies who are right now monitoring this case closely, Jyoti is maintaining a sense of cooperation that she does not want to have create with the agencies. She's also somewhere down the line suggesting that whatever she did was her own freedom of speech, her own rights that she exercised. So somewhere down the line, when questions are not really met with yes and no, and there's a deflection that is being done, it will be interesting to see that tomorrow when she's produced in the court, whether the agencies and the police also maintain that she's non-cooperative, because they would likely want some more days of her custody, because there are electronic devices that have been seized and need to be retrieved for. So it will be interesting what pans out in the court tomorrow. But so far as the line of questioning, Pooja, these are very particular questions about her visit to Pakistan, her messages with Ehsan. There are certain encrypted messages that they have found. What are the reason behind that? All these are the line of questioning, whether she was asked by someone to record certain videos, what was her purpose of visit that she mentioned versus what she filmed. So these are the questions that she's now facing for the fourth consecutive day.
And remember that the term grooming is very important. It isn't immediate expectation to have a pro-Pakistan agenda. This takes time. The asset is developed over years and months. Stay on with me, Shreya, because I need you on the other breaking news coming in. Let's take a look at that. Jyoti Malhotra, the vlogger who has been arrested by the cops, is refusing to cooperate with the agencies. According to our information coming in, I exercised my freedom of speech, is what she says. That basically she wasn't being forced, she wasn't being told by anyone to make these kind of videos. It came from her free will, from her happiness of having visited Pakistan and what she saw. She, according to the investigators, is not cooperating as much and remains focused to save her freedom of speech. Shreya, I want to bring you in here. What does that mean? Because is she trying to give a clean chit to Pakistan, or the assets? She was in touch with the handlers from Pakistan. But the fact is, if you're getting such easy trips into Pakistan repeatedly, that will raise a question, isn't it? I don't know many people who can so easily come in and out of Pakistan.
Well, Well, that's exactly the precise question, because remember, her first visit was under the garb of a pilgrimage. Now, the second time also she went for that, but ideally the pilgrimage during the Vaisakhi trip ends within 10 days. Why did she extend her trip for more close to and over than a month? And who were the people she met? Because she was not definitely just roaming around pilgrim spots, because her videos clearly give out the location that she was loitering quite more far closer to places like Islamabad, Lahore, etc. And there are certain chats that the agencies have also found where she is in touch with other officials from the Pakistan side, not just Ehsan Dar, and these are people that are already under the radar of our intel agencies. So as the details of the technical data come, because this needs to be explained also to our viewers. Remember, just a chat getting recovered will not help it make a foolproof case. The chat may be deleted before and after. For all those reasons, there has to be a proper detail that comes from the parent social media company. That takes some due process, and that's exactly what our agencies are waiting right now, because when that comes in, they will have certain more bit of evidence, foolproof ones, to actually continue their questioning with Jyoti Malhotra in this particular matter.
Shreya, as we look at this kind of chain trail right now, and I understand it's a developing story, but what do you think will be the focus of the investigators here? She could always say, I did not reveal any national security assets. Others could have their defense too. What I'm looking at, individuals completely different background, different affiliations, different religious backgrounds as well. You've spoken to her family member. I'm sure they are in a defensive mode. How are the investigators looking at it? Are they looking at more influencers who were with her, who went with her to Pakistan, who possibly were part of this nexus?
Well, let's just understand, Pooja, that at a time when influencer vlogging, travel vlogging is something that everyone's looking at a cool profession, people also tend to find out ways where they can visit other countries via means that are something that they cannot reach. You may not be monetarily sufficient, but there are certain perks that you are enjoyed, maybe if it's visited via a pilgrim site. That's exactly the first garb that Jyoti used her under, and she was not a vlogger alone to have done that. There are other vloggers, people she was in touch with, people she got to know from how she could visit Pakistan during the Vaisakhi trip. All these people are under the radar. Whether or not these vloggers were easily manipulated by Pakistan embassy officials under the garb of such few trips is what the agencies are looking at. The case particularly of Jyoti becomes crucial because there is evidence at large of her staying in touch even after a period when he was mentioned as a persona non grata, etc. These evidence will be tried against Jyoti for her to come out and say why she still suggests to say that whatever she's done is only freedom of speech and her rights that she's exercised, because clearly there are names that were found saved on her phone, different identities from their original ones. The reasons she's yet to actually give to our agencies who are right now questioning her, as I mentioned, for the fourth consecutive day.
On with me, we are constantly flooded with information that's coming in right now. This is very concerning. Remember, you would think these are simply vloggers going to these neighbor nations or other countries, but is there more to it behind the curtains? For now, she is claiming innocence. She's saying it's my freedom of speech, but Jyoti Malhotra is being questioned on alleged digital propaganda push. That was it aligned with a certain campaign? It could be her freedom of speech, but knowingly or unknowingly, was she part of a certain nexus, especially after she was clearly in touch with the man you see on your screen, other officials as well from Pakistan High Commissions. All of these videos, remember, are not secret videos. It's from her vlogs that the investigators have picked on. Which platforms were being used for the handlers, and was there any sort of financial transaction that she benefited from? At this juncture, how was the communication happening, Shreya, with regard to whether it's encrypted, transactions? How did she manage to not come under the radar, at least for more than a year? And I'm also trying to understand about, this is for the viewer, for you to explain, Shreya. We keep saying asset, a Pakistan asset. She can say it's not national security. I was just in touch with them. I was in communication. How does that lead to possibly being developed as an asset?
Well, Well, this is a particular question that also needs to be broken down and probably told. And as you rightly asked, because many could think that this is just an overreach by the law enforcement agencies, because look, what she was doing was just travel vlogging. But remember, this was not just that. If you're just doing travel vlogging by your own means, through your money, which is well under the checks and balance of the income tax departments, etc., you will never be held liable. You are allowed to have friends even across the border, because even your country maintains a stand that their fight against Pakistan is with terror outfits, not the common civilians of Pakistan. So if there was no motive behind this entire thing, she would have definitely not come under the radar. But she definitely caused a breach that we are being told are under the evidence that the intel agencies have carried. That includes her indulgence with certain individuals who are right now the radar of investigation. Remember that Ehsan Dar was a consular in the Pakistan embassy, maintaining cultural ties, etc. But he's right now the focus of investigation, after which he was also mentioned as persona non grata. Particular question, remember, Pooja, in the questionnaire that we've accessed suggests that whether Jyoti was still in touch with Ehsan after this particular announcement was made. So she will have to do some clean answerings on her part, because if not, this will definitely be a case of example that will be set by the intel agencies of how modern hybrid warfare is being used to cushion soft power.
If you ask me, I think this is very important. It's a developing story, because this is not about directly targeting India or Indian citizens. It's taking another route, developing our bloggers, influencers, whether it's easy money access or more, to perhaps push a Pakistan agenda. We need to be really cautious, especially with these interactions, and we'll be tracking more on that. Shreya, thank you very much for getting us all these exclusive updates, and she's constantly in touch with the investigators to find out more. Shreya, thank you very much.